thank you everyone for coming. We're excited. This has been I've been excited for this, and I appreciate you guys being here especially. I want you to take note that these folks, the criteria was for that they had to at least lost 50 pounds to be sitting up here. And if you add everybody up, 358 pounds on this group. So the best part about tonight is I'm going to shut up and go to the back of the room. The only thing, so I'm just going to ask these guys to introduce themselves, how many pounds they've lost, how long it's been, and then share your number one thing, which I already, but I know what the number one thing is going to be, and that was follow the program, right? And then once everybody's introduced themselves, then we'll just go into a question and answer format. And at about 7:45, unless it feels like a church meeting, we'll end it before then. But at 7:45, I'll start cutting it down. But I'll stick around afterwards. If anybody has questions for me that they want to ask me, I'll be here. So that said, Kevin, can we start with you? And I'm going to get out of the way.
Kevin Pace, bring out the program on the radio, listen to it a lot, the advertisement, and decided one day to come in and talk with Dr. Wyrick, and decided to give the program a chance, wrote a check, and when we walked out of the building, my wife told me, "My God, you're doing this now," right? That wasn't the only reason. I needed to do something. I wasn't doing a very good job on my own, so I started the program. One of the things I told Brady in that first meeting is I had an important work meeting 7 weeks after that day, and I needed to fit into a suit that I couldn't fit into, literally. A new suit that I had wore once and then outgrew. And so that was my goal. I remember Brady telling me, I think by then we can be down 20 pounds or so. I'm thinking 20 pounds is not going to get me in that suit. And so again, I followed the program, and 7 weeks later I was 47 pounds down, and the suit was too big. So I still had a problem. But my goal was 50 pounds, and I came back from that trip that I needed the suit for. Lost a few more pounds. This is never going to be a beach body. This is a dad body, and I'm happy with it. And I weigh 9 months later. I still weigh exactly my goal weight by doing the things that I was taught to maintain. So it's not just about the losing part; it's about the maintaining part. It's not easy, but it's not as hard as some people make it out to be. So that's my story. Not as good as Amanda's.
My name's Amanda Fowler. Pretty much the same beginning as Kevin. I heard Brady on the radio, and I tried many things before, but last October is when I finally got to the end of my rope and said something needs to change. And if it doesn't change soon, I don't know what my future's gonna look like, but I know it doesn't look good. So I met with Brady. I started the program. I was on reduction for about 5 months. In that time, I lost 50 pounds, which was my goal. I've been on maintenance for about 6 months now, been able to keep it off. And my life is completely different. My whole lifestyle has changed. I feel like a completely different person. I truly believe in this program. That's why I'm here. And if I had advice besides sticking to the program, it would be consistency. Stay consistent. That's what's going to matter.
I'm Kendra Bagshaw. Same thing, heard it on the radio, my husband and I, and so we decided to talk to Brady and sign up. And I think we started in May, and I've lost 53 pounds. We went on a cruise, and that disturbed the process a little bit, but we're still on reduction and still working on that. And if you stick to the plan, it works.
Yeah, I'm Dietrich Cornelson, and I am the husband. I've been listening to, Brady's ads and promos with Josh Tyler from Classy 97. And Josh had done the program too, and he had lost somewhere in the neighborhood of 30 pounds. And I thought, I'm getting too big for my britches, so I need to do something about it. And so, like she said, we came down here and got started. The first part of May. We're about 4 months into the program now, and like I said, we're just over 50 pounds each. I've lost 51, and I'm trying to catch her, so yeah, we'll see what that goes. Yeah, and sticking to the plan is definitely a thing, because last month we went on a cruise and we got derailed badly, because there's just so much food and so much rich food that it's real easy to give into the temptation. And sadly we did. She gained almost 20 pounds. I gained about 12. But the week we got back off the ship and got back on the program, she lost her 19 and about another pound more. So the program works, okay? And my ultimate goal is about 120 pounds. I'm a little less than halfway there, so we're just gonna keep plugging away until we get where we wanna be.
I'm David Ackershot. My wife and I both got on the program. We were both approved for gastric sleeve surgery, and I basically got cold feet and worried about cutting my body. And we called Dr. Brady and came in and talked to Dr. Brady and left with a plan and a program. I think the biggest thing is just keep it simple. I'm in 10 months now. I'm at goal. I'm exactly where I want to be. I have completely changed my life. I'm a first aid sales and service rep, and I've got accounts that used to take me like 12, 13 hours that now take me 4 hours. I mean, I can move. I climb stairs. The inflammation is gone. I just don't hurt like I used to hurt. If I have any advice, that is keep it simple. If you see something great happen, duplicate it. It's amazing how much it'll just duplicate. And so just keep it simple and follow the plan. And there's no reason why you can't be exactly where we're at right now.
My name's Andy Regis, and basically the story's about the same. I heard Brady talking on the radio, and I heard the program consisted of no calorie counting, no point counting, no injections, no pills, no exercise. That was key. I was about ready to join the gym. I was so desperate. But I actually went to his website and I saw him interviewing my pastor, and my pastor lost 105 pounds, and to me that lended a lot of legitimacy to the program. I knew my pastor wasn't going to be involved in any hokey pokey, fly-by-night type thing or whatever. So I came in, made an appointment, I came in and I told him I'm getting ready to get started. I'll start tomorrow, and that's what I did. Got started the very next day. My favorite part of the program was the load-up phase. Unfortunately, it only lasts 2 days, and then the reduction phase is about 4 months. Some people have that reverse, and they wonder why they're not losing the weight. The load-up phase is only 2 days. But after 4 months, it was just 2 days shy of 4 months, I had lost 65 pounds. And I thought, you know what, I'm just going to do what I'm told to do, and if it doesn't work, I can say, hey, I did everything you told me to do. I didn't cheat at all, and it didn't work. Well, I ended up proving them right. I didn't prove them wrong. And my goal was to lose 71 pounds, which would have been 25% of my weight, and I lost actually 72 pounds. So I hit my goal, and I'm happy. And it's like I told Brady, I said, it's not just life-changing, it was life-saving. My heart was in AFib back in October. I knew I was going to do something. I didn't know what, but fortunately I found this program, and I'm just trying to do whatever I can to try to encourage other people that need this program, to try to encourage them to get involved and to just stick with the program and do what they need to do. Make a way. Don't make excuses. Make a way to make it happen. Make a way to do it.
And I think a really good point there on medical, I didn't bring that up, but my first physical, 3 months in, they took me off my metformin, all my blood sugar medication, and took me off from my blood pressure medication completely. So that made me feel better, just being off medication, right? That was making me not feel good. So in addition to feeling better because of the loss of weight, I'm not taking medication I don't need. So there's a lot of medical improvements. And then, like the story you just heard, now people try to keep up with me. I'm not the one behind anymore. Actually, my wife's getting tired of it because I want to go all the time, and she still wants to sit sometimes, and I'm not okay with that. So
I saw my cardiac nurse last week, and he needs to lose some weight. So he was really amazed at how much I've lost and the time frame I've lost it. And he's actually coming up here next Wednesday night to a meeting where we're going to be sharing the program with him and other people that are looking to get involved. And he says he's looking to get involved for himself as well as some patients who have been asking him, how do I lose the weight? So, you know, it's just, we're walking, talking advertisements, you know.
some of us better looking than the others. What questions you guys have? Ask the hard stuff.
So I will interject here, like when a question does get asked, go ahead and repeat the question for the video purpose and then answer it, please.
This is the best part of the program because we haven't been coached, we haven't been told what to say or what not to say. If any answers you get from any of us is gonna be completely unvarnished and right from the heart, right from our, you know, our experiences.
We might not get invited back again, but.
I've been on maintenance since May, and I struggle with breakfast. I would just soon skip it, and I know you shouldn't. I know they say eggs, bacon, ham. I don't eat that kind of stuff. Any ideas? What do you guys do?
Well, so the question is, what should you eat for breakfast while you're on maintenance phase? I personally eat eggs every day. So, but the key thing that I would suggest is that every meal, including breakfast, should be built around 4 things, which is protein, fat, fiber, and greens. That's what's gonna keep you satisfied until that next meal. So whatever that looks like for you. I also suggest that your breakfast be savory, not sweet. And so whether that's like some steak or chicken or whatever you feel like you could stomach in the morning that's a high quality protein, put a little fat with it, put, you know, a little fruit with it, that's gonna be fine, put some greens with it, but keep it pretty simple, and keep it savory. Don't jack up your blood sugar first thing in the morning. That's just gonna create disaster for the rest of the day for you.
Yeah, sugar, if you'll hear from a lot of fitness experts, sugar is a metabolism killer. And if you are ingesting, you know, your favorite breakfast cereal, you're not helping yourself.
So I chose to, I didn't weigh in first because I have a very strange schedule. I get up at 4 in the morning and go out to the desert where I work. And so my day is really long and it starts very early. And I was struggling in the beginning of the program in reduction. I was actually fasting too long and my coach helped me understand that my body was going into a starvation mode where I was no longer losing because I was actually putting it in too deep of a starvation mode. So we interjected with some protein, and because I'm at work and on the run, I found Tillamook meat sticks, little jerky sticks, and I have 5 of those sticks in the morning for breakfast around 9, and that seems to work for me, and so I still maintain my reduction fast from dinner until lunch, with the exception of those 5 meat sticks that are 0 sugar. My coach turned me on to those. Yeah. So that's what I do. I just eat protein in the morning.
That's during your fast? That's during your fast?
Dur- Yeah, so it's in the middle of that fast. It didn't seem to harm me in the reduction phase, but that was on the information I got from my coach. I wasn't winging it, right? I'm trying to figure it out on my own. With the help of Brady and Kim, they helped me figure out what to do.
So for cravings, what was your worst craving and how did you overcome that?
I didn't hear the question.
The question is, when you're craving things, what was your worst craving and how did you overcome it?
I know for me, like, I crave things in the evening, just like sweets or, you know, things. And frozen blueberries have been like a pretty good thing, where I just eat a little bit of frozen blueberries. That's been helpful for me. They're kind of sweet, but they're healthier than ice cream.
So, one of the worst challenges for me was Diet Pepsi. And my wife told Brady on day one that I was drinking a 12-pack a day, and I know it wasn't more than 10. She told a fib, but it was too much. And so Brady thought I couldn't have it anymore, and that was almost made me walk out. But
That's not how I said it.
I still paid him, and I did not drink another Diet Pepsi until I was completely out of reduction. And honestly, and he knows this, that I will occasionally have a Diet Pepsi, but I've told him that I try to make sure the glass is mostly full of rum before I put Diet Pepsi. So I'm having less Diet Pepsi. But the Diet Pepsi thing was tough, right? But after about 3 days of screaming headaches, I got through it and I was fine. It don't even taste good anymore. I mean, honestly, my wife will have one and I'll take a drink and it's like it's flat or something. It's terrible. So, but again, I mentioned this a minute ago. Those little meat sticks, right or wrong, it works for me. I will have a protein snack if I need a snack. I will grab a meat stick out of that bag. I've got 4 or 5 of those bags in the house all the time. And I will grab a meat stick or 2. They're this big, 0 sugar. They taste awesome, I mean, to me. And they're quick, easy, you know, you don't have to fix anything, just grab one.
Where you get them at?
Walmart.
For me, the biggest temptation is always bread, which in the reduction phase, bread is off the plan, which makes it very difficult working in a sandwich shop. So bread, dairy, certain meats are not available to me, and working in a sandwich shop makes it a little bit difficult. But after being on the program for a while, it's gotten to the point where, yes, I would love to have bread, but I can do without it until I get to where I need to be.
What's your goal?
120. I want to get down to about 165, somewhere between 165 and 180. Right now I'm just over 230, so I still got a ways to go.
Right on.
For me, cravings, drink water. I mean, it'll stop the craving. If you're still craving whatever you're craving, I will eat a hard-boiled egg. So, protein. Interject some protein into it, just to get you past it. But I'll tell you, water does a great job at stopping whatever.
You've got to drink water and then drink more water. Just
Yeah.
I've heard people in this room tell me they thought they were going to drown. I mean, it's not that hard. I mean, to drink 100 or 120 ounces of water a day, it's like, 5 or 6 of these glasses. It's really not that much.
It sounds like more than it is.
Yeah. Just keep filling the glass up and keep drinking it.
I think my advice is to remember that while you're on reduction phase, try to just cut it all out. Try to get over that hump of craving everything, because if you keep feeding that, it's not gonna go away. And the idea is that we're trying to cut all of this stuff out of your diet to help you lose the weight. But then once you get to maintenance phase, your advisor will help you on how to strategically reintroduce things back into your diet, and you'll be able to see how that affects your body. If you truly cut it out and eat clean like we want you to on the program, then you could say, oh, well, maybe me and dairy aren't friends. Maybe bread and I, as much as I love bread, we don't have the best relationship. And then you can learn, well, maybe this is something I only eat every once in a while, and it's not a staple of my diet anymore. But I can tell you, if you keep feeding those cravings during reduction, you're really doing yourself a disservice, truly. So try to cut it out now, because we're not saying you can never have this stuff ever again. We're just saying for this short amount of time, put in the hard work, see the results, and then we will help you in maintenance, reintroduce some of those things, see how they feel, and help you navigate those waters once you get there. But if you don't cut it out now, it's gonna stay hard forever. And just to let you know, I eat dark chocolate like almost every single day now on maintenance, because that's my thing. But it's like every day, because that's what I choose. It's good. I choose good quality dark chocolate. I make sure I'm working out, you know, but it's not like I cut out chocolate forever. I just waited until maintenance, figured out how my body would do, and now I just listen to my body.
Piggyback on what Amanda said, if you just do the hard stuff now, do it up front, do the hard stuff. And then later on, it'll be easier for you to do the other stuff later on. And like you said, they can help you reintroduce, you know, the foods that you wanna eat once you gave up. And then, like what Kevin was saying, you're gonna find out you don't really care for the Diet Pepsi anymore. You don't care for the ice cream or the cake or the cookies. It doesn't taste the same as it did before, because you've eliminated the sugar from your body. You've eliminated the craving that you've had from your body. And when you taste it, it doesn't taste the same. You eat a candy bar and it's like, oh my God, it's so sweet. You don't even want to take another bite of it, you know, but it's just, your body gets used to doing healthy things. And it's come to rely on you to be doing the healthy things. Only you are the only one in control of what goes in your pie hole. Your husband, your kids, your mom, your dad, nobody else is controlling what you put in your pie hole. And whatever you do put in there is gonna have an effect. I heard this gentleman say he lost 23 pounds in 2.5 weeks. I'll guarantee you he has stuck with the program. He hasn't cheated. He hasn't said, well, you know, my wife's not here, I can get a slice of pizza, or I can do this and that. He hasn't done that. That's why he's gotten the results that he's got, because he's, you know, just, if you just shut up and do what you're told and follow the program. They got 23, 22 pages, I think, of what the do's and don'ts. The 4 vegetables you eliminate, the 4 fruits you eliminate, and the rest of the stuff. I mean, it's all gonna just fall into place, and the weight's just gonna fall right off if you follow the instructions and do what you're told. It's that simple. We ask our kids to do what they're told to do, but a lot of times we think that we don't need to do that, you know, but do as I say, not as I do, whatever, but, you know, it's just, you're investing the time, and I appreciate the fact that y'all showed up. We got, I don't know, I think 120, 140 people in the program. This room should be packed. This is something that's available to you, just like the Yucca app, like the Circle app. The things that are available to you to help you through the process. I'm surprised more people don't take advantage of it, you know, but I'm glad to see that you guys are here. You guys, out of all the people that are in the program, collectively, this group right here will lose more weight in the next 30 days than the rest of the people that weren't here tonight, because you're here.
Reinforce what Amanda said, the things I told you about even eating the protein snacks, besides the ones in the morning, there was no cheating in reduction. Right? That was it. You followed the plan. I think the other thing, and we mentioned going on a cruise, and I had that trip 7 weeks later where I knew I wasn't gonna be perfect, as hard as I tried, but you can have a bad minute, right? So you have that bite of bread or something, just because you had a bad minute, you don't need to make it a bad day. a lot of people go, well, I screwed today up, so, you know, I might as well have the rest of the sandwich and, you know, milkshake to go with it. You don't gotta do that, right? As soon as you have a slip in anything in the program, just get back on the train, right, as quickly as possible. Don't take advantage of the day and screw it all up. One of the absolute, my worst vices was candy. And at my workplace, there is a candy bowl every 10 feet. Everywhere there's a candy bowl, and I know where they all are. And I could strategically design my route around the facility to make sure I got all the stuff I wanted. In 9 months, I haven't touched a candy bowl or one piece of candy, none, zero, because that's something I could not go back to and feel like I could maintain control of, because I just like it too much.
So that's the hard thing for me, is because I work for in the medical field, front desk receptionist, and there is a sneaking candy dish right in front of, like, right on my counter. And then the rest of the team eats like crap. They eat garbage all day. How in the heck do I stay away from that? The sweets and all the crap.
Willpower.
It's about you.
It is so hard. Some days are better than others.
My admin sits right outside my office, and there's 2 big old boxes of candy on that desk. I gotta walk by them 20 times a day.
Ugh.
So I feel you. Nobody, now, this is where I probably get kicked out. Brady says on the radio ad that it's easy. It's not easy,
Mm-mm.
right?
No.
Anything worth doing
Right.
should be hard, right?
Right.
And so
I
it's
agree.
gonna be hard. It was hard for me. I had to cutting out that Diet Pepsi and candy. That was hard.
Well,
I don't miss it now.
Well, that's the crazy thing for me is I quit Blue Voltage Mountain Dew. So I've been on the program since July. Haven't been to the gas station since. Haven't had a Mountain Dew since. But that stupid candy and the stupid junk food crap at work. I don't know. It's so weird to me. My brain is like no candy, no soda, but the other stuff at work is so hard to stay away from.
Well, here's my suggestion then. I remember a story I heard of a man who was trying to quit tobacco. And he kept a little bag of tobacco on his chest of drawers, and every day he'd look at that bag of tobacco and he'd say, who's stronger, me or you? So you can do the same thing with the candy dish on your desk. Say, who's stronger, me or you? And as long as you're stronger, that candy shouldn't be a temptation.
That's easy to say.
It is, but
It's
it's a mindset that you've got to adopt to say,
We've all done. We've all been in your place.
I'm like, do I need a new job? That's what I'm thinking. Because I did really good the first month and a half, and I'm like, okay, I need a new job where there's nothing
Just
at
put
all.
a bunch of jerky and vegetables in there.
Right?
Ask it to move the ball somewhere else.
I've tried. I can't because I'm right at the front center, and the patients expect it because the doctor's been doing it for years. And I tried that once, and the patients got kind
Just
of.
wants to bring the patients.
Everybody's different and everybody
Yeah.
has different unique challenges. And then I think each of us need to figure out what it is that we need to do, what you need to do. You need to figure out what you need to do. We can't figure it out
Right.
for you.
No, but your
But
idea.
we need to figure out what we need to do to trick ourselves, trick our brain,
Mm-hmm.
to stop thinking about it. When the thought comes into your head about eating a candy bar, if you were to change the thought to something else, think about your child or your cat or whatever, for 2 minutes, you won't even think about that candy bar for another half hour or 45 minutes. And then when you think about it again, you change your mind and think about something else. But you have to figure out a way to trick your brain into doing what it is that you want it to do to achieve the result you want down the road. But each of us need to figure out what is it that I need to do in order to try to help myself over this period or through this struggle I'm having. And again, you've got the coaches that you can rely on to help you. And again, they're able to get into a group like this and get different information from different people and share with each other. The coaches can. And so they collectively, everybody's trying to help one another achieve a common goal, but everyone has unique challenges and they have to overcome them in their own way.
Okay. Thank you.
Cass, tomorrow, when you're at work, whenever you look at the candy and you start to feel tempted, I want you to think about your grandbabies. And I want you to think about meeting them and everything you want to do with them. Okay? Every time you see it, I want you to redirect that thought to them and see if that helps.
And I only work 4 days. My 4 days are crap, but when I'm home, I'm do just fine. So I've got to kick that in the bed and switch it. somehow.
Water.
So
I do.
She's
I do
really good at her
do you
water.
have grandchildren?
I don't. My kids are expecting twin babies in January. My son served in the military in Alaska, so
And that's
it's
one
like,
of the main reasons why we're all here, so that we can live longer and we can spend
Right.
more time with our kids, our grandkids,
Yeah.
or whatever, right? So.
yeah,
So do you have pictures of ultrasounds?
yes.
Oh,
Yes.
so here's what I would
Yes.
do, I would frame those and I would put them right on my desk.
See, that's why I like this group.
So I would frame them, I would put them, I would
Good job.
put them right on my desk, because that is a reminder that you wanna be healthy enough to be able to play and run and jump and swing and
I like that
everything
idea.
else with those kids when they are born.
Okay.
Make it big
Guys.
enough to cover the bulb.
Well, I put it on the side of my computer screen so I don't see it, but
Right.
then.
A 4 by 6 foot pole.
I guess I can just promise you that there will be a time when you'll overcome this, I believe.
Well, I know how I feel after I eat it. I feel like crap. I feel sicker, but I'm like, oh my goodness, then why don't I stay away from it?
Amanda mentioned that she, has her dark chocolate. What I have found after reduction, right? Don't confuse what I'm telling you. But I have trail mix, so I go to nuts, which aren't necessarily a lot of calories there.
Right.
But me in maintenance, that works for me, and I'm able to maintain giving myself that as a snack. So instead of the candy, I can go get myself a small handful of trail mix, and that's what I use to satisfy me through some of those events.
Any of you guys go to the fair? No, just don't
Avoid
go.
that like the
There's only
plague.
one reason to go to the fair, and that's to eat.
Just one.
Watch people and eat.
The irony about this diet, it's not a diet, it's a way of life. I got into it for a couple different reasons, but I like the part about the anti-inflammation. And if you stick with it, if you stick with it and then you eat something that you're not supposed to, you know that, oh, that bothers me and I shouldn't have that. But since I came from North Idaho, and since I've moved here, I had migraines up there, but nothing like what I have here. And we're still trying to get to the bottom of it. But I went to a specialist, and so they give me this list of foods and stuff that I shouldn't eat. And ironically, a lot of it's kind of almost the same thing. So, I'm not supposed to have nuts, and I'm not supposed to have dark chocolate, and I'm not, several different things, and I'm going, so it just amazed me how much food plays into, and I know, because I have listened to you talk about how much food plays into, your body and how it affects your body, how much our food affects our body, in different ways, for different reasons. So, even if I didn't have the inflammation stuff, I still can't have things because they affect my head. So.
And every one of you in this room will learn, if you do the program diligently, what your body likes and what your body dislikes. But that's part of the process, and that's why we tell you, follow the program. It's more than just losing weight. It is a lifestyle change, and a lifestyle change takes time, and it takes commitment. And there will be challenges along the way. So I don't want anybody to feel discouraged about those challenges. Just take that opportunity and know that you're putting in the hard work, and what's at the end of the road is worth it. But each and every one of you should walk away from this program knowing how your body feels. At least that's our hope, is that you're so in tune with your body. You know what makes you feel good, what makes you feel bad, and then you feel empowered to take that information and to live your life happier, healthier, able to do things you weren't able to do before.
I think we've said it over and over, but in the reduction phase, I sat here maybe my first, maybe my second time I sat in the room with Brady, and I remember being here with another person who was about the same stage I was, just starting, and this person was trying to convince themselves that tortillas really weren't bread, so it was okay to have tortillas, right? And no, it's not. Right? It's not. So stop finding excuses to have the stuff. Stop finding ways to sneak the stuff that you're not supposed to have. You gotta just bite the bullet and get through reduction. Once you get through reduction, I promise, you'll find those dark chocolates or whatever that you can add back into your diet that will satisfy you. I mean, I've added vegetables back in that weren't on reduction, right? I absolutely eat things that are not on reduction. And then I just watch my weight closely and I monitor what I can have and what I can't. Certainly a completely different portion control than before. Completely.
And I would challenge everyone to view reduction not as just a phase that you have to get through, but an opportunity to learn what real whole food looks like and how to cook it. Because this part of the program is what's going to teach you how to be successful at maintenance. But if you eat the same thing every day in reduction and then you get sick of it, that's not sustainable for the rest of your life. Try new vegetables that are approved. Try new recipes off Circle. I'm sure if you find a recipe and you're curious whether or not it's approved, ask your program advisor. I'm sure they'd be happy to tell you whether or not it's approved and why. Try new things. Learn how to cook. Learn how to enjoy cooking so that when you hit maintenance, it's not a big deal. You've been doing it already. We're just going to increase your portion size a little bit and reintroduce some foods. But if you're sick of all the food you're eating on reduction, talk to your advisor, please, because that's not sustainable.
Kim got tired of hearing from me.
I asked about hacks. So reduction phase hacks. David told me about coconut aminos as a teriyaki chicken. You guys have any things that worked for you? Stuff that you wish you'd known earlier? Reduction.
So the question is reduction phase hacks, any advice that we have? One of my favorite hacks when I was really hungry for dinner is whatever veggie that I was roasting, I would automatically put red onions in the oven with it because those are free. And then I would have a side salad with bell pepper, with onion, with cucumber, all the free stuff. If I was really hungry that night, and I would just eat a salad with it, put some free onions with it, call it a day. So experiment with those free foods if you're hungry, and load up on those.
I love onions. I fry up 3 or 4 onions, 2 or 3 onions every single morning. They're on the stove, and then anything I eat, either for lunch or for dinner, I've got fried onions, grilled onions, whatever. So.
What do you cook them in?
Olive oil.
Okay.
Avocado oil.
Avocado oil. I was using olive oil, and then Brittany told me I should be using avocado oil. That's what I've been using since then.
You won't even know the difference. I mean,
It's not a big difference.
we cook everything in avocado oil now, so don't know the difference.
Where do you get it?
Walmart.
Walmart.
Do you?
Just
Yeah.
don't buy the cheap brand because it's disgusting.
I think
Sorry, I tried it.
I think Costco has avocado oil.
I had to text them out and see what is wrong with this stuff, but then I found out it was at cheap brands. Yeah.
Chosen Foods is at Costco. It's a very reputable brand. So
What?
Chosen Foods.
Comes in a spray, just like Pam or.
Oh, it's a spray thing? Okay.
Or it's either. That's also in a bottle.
Doesn't have both.
Yeah, you can get both at Costco.
Okay, it's 7:45. If you're being shy about a question, now's the time.
I see the looks on some of your faces. You're not all convinced. So. What are you holding back?
Just don't like the idea you have to follow the program.
I can run to the house and get the pants that used to fit me and show you.
But yes, please do that.
The pants I'm wearing right now, I actually have a belt that is down to, it's got six notches in it. I've got it down to the 5th notch. And if I were to stand up and show you how loose these pants are, there's at least 1.5 inches of room on any one side. So it really does work. The results are noticeable. I've got pictures from when we started, and then about 3 weeks and 6 weeks in, you can see a difference from when I started to that 6-week point. And yes, I've got a ways to go yet, and I'm gonna stay on the program to get there, but you will see the results not only on the scale but in the photographs you take of yourself.
In the pain, you don't feel. You know, I'll hit on inflammation. I remember I got out of bed every morning and I just hurt. And thought, well, it's because you're getting old, right? I mean, that's how you're gonna feel. But it doesn't feel like that anymore. I mean, I'll give credit where credit's due, right? I mean, it's not just about the weight loss. I mean, I used to eat Advil like candy because I thought that's what you did, right? When you were my age, to make yourself feel better. But I don't even remember the last time I took Advil. So there's a lot of benefits.
When your 2 months was up, did you guys stop doing the drops, or did you continue?
We actually bought a 3rd bottle and kept going with that. We would probably buy them again if we felt we needed to, but we think we can do it because we've pretty much reset our metabolism, which is the point of the program, is to get your body to use those fat reserves in such a way that you don't have to consume a lot of calories to get the energy you need.
It took me 4 bottles for me to lose 50 pounds.
Is it because of the cravings, or what was it?
I
It
did
was
not
just-
cheat.
Right.
It just takes people longer sometimes, especially women compared to men.
Yes.
I think after 2 months I was 25 to 30 pounds down, but I wasn't ready to stop. So I just remained on reduction for as long as it took me to hit my goal. And that was 4 bottles.
I was able to stop at 2. So I think it's just different people.
I did 3. So
I did 3.
after the 3rd, I didn't need them anymore.
Does anybody have menopausal issues,
I have it.
Yes, I do, but she stayed home.
Seems like my body just does not want to go.
I would recommend if you like to read Fast Like a Girl by Mindy Pels, go read some of that. She touches on menopause, and there's a lot of hormonal changes that are happening. So you're fighting your hormones essentially, but if you're interested in that, I do recommend that book.
I've eaten up everything I could, with the books and then everything. A lot of people say that you need more protein, and I don't know. It just gets frustrating sometimes.
Yeah, keep working with Brady and your coach and see if you can work out a plan that will help you get through that particular issue.
And I certainly don't know, but what I do know is that everybody's different.
Mm-hmm.
What Amanda or somebody else did is not necessarily going to work for you. Keep trying different stuff until you find what works for you. I mean, just work with your coach to let him help you.
My wife is down 67 pounds. She's still very much in reduction without drops. So she went through 3 bottles of drops, but she's still got a ways to go, but she has not stopped. I mean, she is absolutely just trucking along. She goes through those issues as well, but I mean, she just fights through it. So.
Is it slower for her without the drops?
You know what?
Or about the same?
I can say that it wasn't slower for me, and I don't think it's slower for her. It's almost like we're still taking them. You know what I mean? You just get so used to it. I mean, I tweaked what I was eating because I wanted to lose a little bit more, and I dropped 5 pounds in a week. So I mean, I'm still, I know how to lose now. You guys know how to lose, right? We know how to do this. All we got to do is
Stick
go.
with it.
I just went right back to plan without the drops, and I mean it just falls right back off. So.
If I had one final piece of advice, what I keep talking about is reduction phase is not a phase you just have to grit through. Use it as an opportunity to change. Gosh, and I lost what I was going to say. Oh, I know what I was going to say. Use it as an opportunity to build and stack habits. So you're learning what real food looks like. You're learning how to cook real food. You're learning what portion sizes should look like. You're learning that you should be walking during the day and moving. You're learning you should be drinking enough water. All of these things that you're doing in reduction, you're going to be carrying into maintenance. And then when you get to maintenance, and we're going to talk about lifting some heavy weights. We're going to be talking about working out harder and more often. But you're going to be taking that water, that whole food, that walking, all of that with you. And by the time you hit maintenance, if you do reduction right, it should be like second nature to you. You shouldn't even be thinking twice about it when you go to maintenance. It's just going to become a part of who you are.
I've discovered playing pickleball for 3 hours a day is a lot more fun than walking on a treadmill for even 45 minutes. Just say.
Okay, why don't we give these guys a big round of applause and a thank you for doing this for us.